Are we doing the in-character dress-up thing that Josh is doing every time? Because I'm going to have to go buy a hat if that's the case.
I mean, I'm a detective, so I would have to have, like, a tweed...
suit, yeah.
Yeah.
Greg can wear one of those rip-away butler uniforms, the banana hammock.
I'm in.
Welcome to DungeonBrew.
We're going to first just start with you guys showing up to the shop. We'll play through that, and then we will do the introduction for the series, and then do your guys' introduction, and then get started. Theo and Simon have come here because Theo has brought Simon along, and he is wanting to get some ingredients. And this is a place where the ingredients that they're getting are hard to come by, and this is one of the few places in the area that is known to be reliable for those types of ingredients. And this place is called Hank's Anks. Theo has been to this place before and has some knowledge of how things operate here, so he's kind of has this experience. For you, Jonathan, you have the letter. Essentially, it mentioned Hank's Anks as the place to get details for what you're looking for about the location of the person you're trying to find. And so you have arrived in order to try to see what... It doesn't really say what, it just says that there's information to find to help locate Mr. Reynolds' son. And then for Jack Calloway, he is doing a missing persons investigation, and he has come because he received information that at this shop called Hank's Angst, there would be information or people to find that is relevant to his investigation. And one thing that, just to give you some, as you're traveling to Chaplin, it's off kind of a main highway. The road is, okay to travel on, but it's also, it's kind of rough, and so it's not like you can't travel, but it's not the greatest. When you arrive to Chaplin, you're going to see it's a small town. There's probably this is in the western part of Massachusetts where it starts to get a little more mountainous. And the population states, if you go by the sign or whatever, it's about 450. And you do not see any traffic coming to and from Chaplin as you're traveling. There is one place that seems to draw people, and that is Hank's Anks. Not all of you would know that, but as you're driving in town, what you'll see is you basically come in on Main Street, and you just keep driving until you find a Hank's Road, and you turn and you drive up to this place called Hank's Anks. What you did see along the way, though, on Main Street is you saw a row of businesses, and you're probably getting here late afternoon. I would say maybe about 4 o'clock. And you see cars along Main Street that are parked. Occasionally you might see a person walking around the town, and you see these businesses, but you don't really see anyone going in or out of businesses. You just see these businesses. And off to the side roads, you do pass what look like you see some houses and things like that. As far as it looks like just a regular town. I would say that you would have passed a few places on Main Street. One of them would be the police station. Other than that, there was nothing really of note.
Was the police station on Main?
Yes. And it would have been a pretty good sized building. Like, that's one of the reasons it would draw. It was larger than... it's a big building.
Hotel, motel, anything like that?
You did not notice anything. And another thing that you would have at this time, it was not uncommon for people to pull over to the side of the road and just make little camps. They'd also have things called auto camps. Basically, they were almost like public places where people could park, and they would camp to because they didn't have hotels or motels. This is kind of before motels kind of took off. So a lot of times you would just had people camping along the side of the road, pull out a tent, or they just sleep in their car and make a way to live out of their car when they were traveling. You didn't see anyone doing that, nor did you see any public places. As far as someone asked about restaurants.
No, but I'll go ahead and ask about restaurants since you brought it up.
I thought someone did. You actually didn't seem to notice any restaurants. So, Simon and Theo, we'll just have you guys arrive first. I'll say that maybe Jack and Declan may have even seen them walk in and just kind of wait just a few seconds, or you decide to go in.
Okay. Once Theodore parks the car, I will step out and put on my fur sealskin hat, pull out a cigarette, and light it up. Kind of check out the place, knowing that Theodore's been here many times before. Say, Theodore, this place ain't so bad. Could use a touch more swank, but I've seen worse dumps.
It may not look like much on the outside, but they have what you need.
Yeah, I hope
Shall
so.
we go in?
Yeah, this screenplay isn't going to write itself.
All right, so we'll head inside.
Yeah, I'll follow behind him a good pace, smoking my cigarette as we head inside.
And as you enter, you'll see someone kind of over by this door, kind of trying to open it and pushing on it. Kind of get startled as you walk in. Hello. Welcome to Hank's Angst. Yes. I'm Frank. How can I help you?
Hi, Frank. You having some issues with the door there?
Oh yeah, sometimes the weather or whatever just causes them to not want to open. What can I do for you?
Have I seen this guy here before? In the
No, you
times I've
haven't.
come by before?
Mm-mm.
All right. You seem a little nervous, Frank.
Oh yeah. Well, kind of new on the job, and sometimes the boss can be a bit intense.
Boy's shaking like a leaf there, Theodore.
Indeed, he is.
Anything I can help you gentlemen with?
Well, I was looking for some books on the cult, dark things, the heebie-jeebies, things of that sort.
Oh, okay. I should probably look for those. And he'll kind of turn around and start glancing over the different things.
When he turns, can I look towards the door that he came out of and kind of like spot the area, see if there's anything that I find? Or
He didn't come out of the door. He was like trying to open it, like budge it open. It wasn't opening for whatever reason. But if you want to check out that area, look over that area, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Nicely done.
You will notice that. Trying to think what you would really notice. I would say at the bottom of the door, it looks like there is some discoloration, or like the door at the bottom has maybe been wet at times, or even some like rot or decay on the door at the bottom. But other than that, I mean, it looks just like it's a door, but you do notice some features at the bottom that seems like that door's in rough shape towards the bottom.
How close is Chaplin, Massachusetts to the coast? Is this an area that floods ever or has high tides? Is this near the
Nope.
thing or is it more
This
inland?
is on western. This is in the western part, closer to the mountains.
Okay.
So yeah, and I would say with that roll, you don't necessarily. Well, I would say along the wall, you would probably see a little bit of damage, water damage along that wall. The other walls, you don't see it, and you'll even notice there's two doors on the north side that they look fine, and they look a little more sturdy. And then there's two doors to the east side, which basically it looks like restrooms, and there's no damage or anything along those areas. He'll be fumbling. I don't know that I have that. I may have to check with the shopkeeper, Hank, and see if he knows anything about that. It may take me a little bit though. So yeah. Anything else you're needing, or?
If I'm gonna peruse around the shelves while Simon interacts with Frank here, do I see what I'm looking for on the shelves?
Make me a spot hidden. So it's not so much that you fail at this, but you're looking around. It takes a little bit of time because things are, there's a lot of things on the shelves. You see scrolls, you see books, you see jars and full of containers of liquids or ingredients and all sorts of other things, and you're looking, and it's just there's a lot there that you're not noticing anything that just jumps out at you. But you also know that some of the things you might be wanting might be a little more, they might be more guarded on. So it's likely it could be back in the warehouse part. And you know that there's a warehouse back there because you've been here before.
Okay.
So how about we have, if one of the other characters wants to come in, or you both can come in at the same time and be like, hey.
Real quickly, I'll just say that I am talking up Frank about the profits that this place brings in.
Okay.
Trying to understand like the money making business of the occult.
I'll be approaching the door, and as I kind of key in that this other person is coming up at the same time, I'll stop by the door and open it up for him. After you there.
Thank you, sir. Jack's gonna tip his hat. Walk in.
And after he goes in, I will follow him in and defer to whatever business he has.
I don't know that Simon, you'll probably see this, and you see him in this look of like relief at first that he has a chance to maybe get away from you about talking about finances, and then also this dread that it's like more people just came in. Oh, I'll have to talk to you about the finances later. Oh, wow. We're really I'm being busy. How can I help you, gentlemen?
After you, sir.
You made it in there first. I'll let these gentlemen handle their business. I have some private things that I'd like to speak to you about here in a moment, once things are cleared out a bit.
Oh, okay.
I'm just perusing. Don't mind me.
Oh, okay.
Well, since nobody has any business, is Hank here?
I believe so. He's in the back. I take it you would like to talk to him.
That'd be good. And I'll kind of just pull my coat to the side a little bit to reveal my badge, and then put it back in place.
Okay. He's gonna look at you. He's gonna kind of move a little closer to you and be like, "Do I know you?"
I don't know you, so I doubt it.
Oh. You see a very puzzled look when he sees your badge. Okay, gentlemen, I will be back, and I'll go see if Hank is back there, and he will disappear through the door.
Is
and close
there
it.
a check that I can make to like read him, like psychology
sure.
or
Psychology.
something?
Yep,
Psychology?
you can roll psychology. Anybody else want to make a psychology check?
I would love to do that. If I can find it on my
If I
list.
can.
There it is.
Ah, of course.
I don't know that I would have the wherewithal to do a psychology check, but I'm probably just leaning on the counter, smoking my cigarette, and just reading their lips.
Yeah, and psychology isn't necessarily that you're like a psychologist. It's just more of that's just how you would interpret people's behaviors.
Yeah, I don't know that I would even be
Okay.
doing that. I'm just literally reading everything that they're saying between each other, reading their lips.
Gotcha. Man, you've picked up everything. I will say with that role of reading their lips, you would have a sense that this clerk has become very nervous, like more nervous than what he was. And you would have picked up that he was struggling to remember who Hank was. When he was like with and then it was Hank. You just with that reading of lips, you were kind of like, well, that's kind of a strange like pause or whatever, and so they will disappear. You will start to maybe hear, or not. You will start to hear some voices back there talking. Some of them sound a little bit like a little bit elevated, not like arguments, but it's kind of like this.
Any possibility of a listen check?
Yeah, make that roll.
So are we like all crowded? Is that what we're doing? Like all four of us, just with an ear pressed against the door? Is that what's happening?
I mean, did he
Jess.
go in the door to the left? Because that's where I was standing and looking
Yes.
around.
He's closest. He went through the door closest to you.
Okay.
I am.
Can I hear him from where I'm standing, or would I need to get closer to that door?
You would need to get closer. I mean,
Okay,
I feel like you
given-
guys are gonna have to be up by the door.
Given that there's a strange man already standing by the door, I'm not going to approach the door to try and listen at it.
Jack is just going to case the place for like entry, exits, anything. What's weird in this store, right? I've never been here. You know, I have this weird thing going on. I need to know like what I'm in before I even want to talk to anybody.
Right. Okay. Make me a spot hidden.
Seriously?
I will say that.
Can I push that?
Click on it. See if it says bush.
Yeah, I can.
Hey, you got a success.
Barely.
You're going to be looking at the different, kind of the different. Nothing looks out of place in the shelves. I will say that you notice that along this wall again, you'll notice the same thing that Simon noticed. That towards the base of it, there looks like there's water damage and even some rot towards the bottom. And everywhere else, it looks pretty clean and not any issues.
What's it smell like?
I would say that there's a faint smell of kind of mold or mildew.
Oh, come on. Make Jack get down there and sniff it.
It crawls on the floor, starts licking the door.
Okay.
It's fresh.
What's on the, I mean, and more so, like I want to know what's on the shelves.
Yeah,
Like,
and
what is this place?
you're going to see that there are ingredients probably for spells. You're going to see occult books. You're going to see scrolls. I mean, this is like a shop where people would probably buy ingredients to do magic and study the occult or all sorts of other things.
Which I mean, this is stuff that's obviously on the shelf. Do I need to roll a spot to notice that there's weird shit on the shelves?
No, you would
Okay.
probably notice. Although I don't know that you would probably notice like the ingredients look weird.
Yeah,
You've
I don't. I
probably
mean,
seen
I don't know what they're for.
right.
Yeah,
Like the books and stuff and scrolls, you'd probably be like, oh, it's like a bookshop or something.
Yeah, that's and like I'm looking at the ingredients and going, oh, they sell tea. Like I have no idea
Some
what this stuff
potpourri
is.
over here.
Yeah, there's potpourri and tea and books, and I am I'm an 80-year-old man walking into a game shop going, what is all this D&D stuff? This is strange.
Yeah, and so yeah, no, you wouldn't need to make a roll for that. So like some of the things you might find is you might find a jar with dried up like lizard legs or tails.
Right.
You're gonna find, maybe bones in some of them that look like chicken bones, and you might even you'll probably find a jar of like salt, and other ingredients that.
But
it's just
there's nothing that I can do to identify what it is or what it's for,
I just don't know that you would have that knowledge.
which is fine.
Yeah, I don't think you'd have that
That's all
knowledge.
I'm checking is to see if there was any way that I could know. But that's fine
Yeah.
that I don't.
If you wanted to go look at the books, you would probably see that the books are titled strange names or
I feel like by the time I've looked at some jars with lizard legs and chicken bones in it, I have already given up on whatever this place
Okay.
is for, and I'm more focused on the door and the muffled sounds on the other
Yeah.
side of it, waiting for Hank to appear.
Okay. So Theo, what you're going to hear on the other side of the door is, you're going to catch it in like, there's people out front and they're wanting to see Hank. What are we going to do? And can't you get rid of him? And you kind of hear this back and forth of people arguing. Well, as you are like, you're realizing this, and I don't know what you're thinking, you guys are all of a sudden going to see the lights in the building start to flicker. They're flickering, and then they kind of go off for a little bit. And I would say every one of you is going to feel like this, your hair kind of stand up on your arms and your back of your neck. Jack, you're going to recognize that you've experienced something like this before, and this is shadow magic. There is something going on, and it is powerful. And so as the lights go off, you all of a sudden hear these noises in the warehouse area, loud crashes, and then you hear the men screaming, and all this stuff is just kind of going on, and then the lights come on, and then nothing.
I'm gonna roll my eyes a little bit, and like put out my cigarette on the counter, and be like, "What's the grift here? Some bunko artist trying to pull one over on us? I bet I've seen this all before."
Did anyone, would Theo know that John is a cop? He showed his badge, but was that just to the shop, to Frank? Or
it was intended to be very subtle. So what I was doing was just almost like stretching and showing my badge as I was adjusting my coat, rather than going ha ha. So
all right.
The intent was to hide it. Whether or not you noticed, I don't know.
Well, I was looking at other shelves, so if you were being subtle, I wouldn't have seen it.
Okay.
I didn't notice it. I just was reading guys' lips, so I didn't know that you showed it.
Though after the lights come back on, I'm gonna look at the people in the room and say someone's in trouble in there.
Or they're pretending to be Theodore.
What kind of trouble? What do you mean?
Well, if you gentlemen will excuse me, the man's right. So if you'll just back away from the door, we'll see what we can do about this. And I am going to.
And I would say that all of you heard the scream.
Excuse myself towards the door, and
towards the exit or towards
that warehouse door.
Screen door.
I'm gonna start. Okay. Yeah. Whatever door I'm going towards. Yeah. And I'm gonna get out some salt. And I'm gonna just try the doorknob because I don't think anybody's actually tried the doorknob.
Yeah. And the door will be unlocked.
Okay. What do I see before I walk in the room?
You're at least opening the door?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you get to the warehouse, the first thing you notice is there's lots of shelves just lined with stuff. And again, there'd be books, there'd be scrolls, there's going to be more jars of things, even crates and various things all over this place on these shelves. The next thing you're going to notice is that towards the I'll just say to the west side, you're going to see this just piles of junk. It looks like clothes, bags, all sorts of just items that have been discarded or something and thrown to the back. And then you're going to notice these 3 platforms that have a round metal ring out of them that are in various places along kind of where these kind of studs are that poke up. They'd be along there. Okay. And you will notice that there seems to have been a kind of a commotion, or you'll see stuff was disturbed along this kind of first aisle as things seem to be falling on the floor and often that way, as far as you can see, as far with not stepping in. Other than that, it's quiet. You don't hear anything.
Okay. I am gonna put the salt away, and I'm gonna pull out my jar.
Okay.
And I'm gonna unscrew the jar.
So I'm watching Jack take control, walk in front of me with some salt, and then put it away and pull out a jar. And and it's a jar. It's about yay big. It's in this bag I had under my coat. It's got liquid in it, and so I'm gonna open the jar. I'm gonna stick my hand in, pull out an eyeball. So while you're doing this, Declan is just kind of give you a really long side eye, and put his hand on his pistol and step around you. Out of the way, boyo. I got this. And I'll just kind of walk through.
I'm gonna squeeze the eyeball.
And I'm sitting in the back, just shaking my head, and I went ahead and lit another cigarette and took about a few more steps forward so I can get a better look at what the hell they're doing.
Is it dark in this room?
The lights are on.
Okay.
I'm pulling my flashlight out.
Okay, yeah, that's why I was asking, because you pulled out your flashlight and I was like, I thought they flickered. I didn't think they went out. So if it's still light, I'm not.
No, there's another reason for the flashlight.
One person pulled out these jars and he squeezes an eyeball, and then you have to remember to smack it on like your forehead.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna take it and go like this. And as he walks past me, hey there, Grandpa. You might be getting a wee bit over your head.
Did you make a roll for your spell?
Not yet.
Okay. You rolled a 16, which is 2 stars. You are going to notice almost like the spectral trail of residual like shadow essence that leads down this first aisle here, that when you first come in off to your right, that where the stuff is, it leads to down there, and it's dissipating, it's going away. You would also know that essentially something like a shadow opened up and allowed something to come through, and that gateway has closed for now. So that's what you would know with that sight, as high as you rolled that, and with your knowledge of shadow magic.
Okay. I am gonna enter the room.
Okay. So
I will enter the room, and I'm not gonna step on the platform that's to my left. I'm gonna actually start just kind of looking at that trail off to my right.
So as you come in, Jack and Declan, you will notice that first aisle there, that again, there's stuff that's been disturbed. There is looks like things fell down, and even some of the shelves have now fallen over, and you see kind of just a dark area back there, but you don't see any blood, you don't see any bodies at this point. You just see that it looks like a trail leads to where this stuff collapsed, and there's a bunch of just it's dark over there because the stuff is laying over, but nothing else.
Okay, and we had heard a scream, right?
Yes.
So Declan is not particularly interested in whatever nonsense is going on there. He's looking for the source of the scream.
Okay.
So he's going to keep pushing into the room and
all right,
go to the next aisle and kind of look down it, and that's he's just kind of like surveying, checking each aisle.
So as you come to this second row to your right, you're going to you'll see the stuff maybe some stuff has fallen over, but not as much. Like maybe things got pushed or knocked over from the other side, being knocked or pulled down. And there doesn't seem to be as a mess at the end of that one, and it's pretty clear. You can see all the way down, and nothing that a body or anything.
Okay. Well, I'll keep doing that down the row, but I don't want to interrupt from whatever
That's
Joshua and Theo, or Simon and Theo are doing, since they haven't.
Are you guys interested at all in looking at this, or gonna kind of keep your distance?
I think I'll move to the counter here to kind of look into the doorway as they're going and kind of like watch what they're doing, but I don't think that I'm going to go into the room.
Okay.
Theo's going to move in. Seeing Jack perform a spell, I'm probably going to stick close to him.
Mm-hmm. And you would recognize that it was a spell.
Yeah. And then you said there's a dark, shadowed area down this first aisle.
Mm-hmm.
I would shine my flashlight down there.
Okay. So as you shine your flashlight, you will see that there's debris there, and there's nothing, there's no bodies or anything.
Okay.
Which I'll probably shout out to Theodore. Theodore, I don't think this has anything to do with us.
You might be safe to stay out there. I'm going to check this out. Hank's an old friend.
I'll just kind of shrug and puff on my cigarette.
You can proceed forward, Declan, and I don't know what you're going to do, Jack.
How long does that spell last?
I would say it's still active. You're still able to see. I didn't really give it a time limit, but...
Okay. I guess if that's the case, then I can see, that trail. The portal's gone. I'm gonna just canvass the rest of the room, see if I notice anything else with that. Specifically, above. How high is the room that we're in?
This
warehouse that we're
probably
in?
goes up about, we'll say 20 feet.
Okay. I'm specifically going to be watching what's above me.
Okay. I will
Um,
say, as you start to look around
okay.
the room, your eyes will pick up on some type of other magical source. It's on the north side of the platforms that are to your left. You see kind of a faint glow. You can't really see what's glowing, but you notice something is kind of glowing. And you're not really sure what exactly that magic is, but it is something that you would feel is like it's old and it's powerful.
I'm gonna head over and take a look, pick it up if it's safe enough.
Well, yeah, you can walk over there. We'll see if you want to pick it up.
Okay.
As
walk
you
over
get there, you will see the dead body of a man.
Did I see anything in the next 2 aisles as I
Nope.
was moving
Yeah,
forward?
you'd be moving up, and I'd say that you would probably get close to being able to see it too, Declan.
Okay.
And you're going to see this body of a man. As Theo gets up there, and if he sees it, he will recognize the man as Hank.
Good gods.
Friend of yours.
Do you know him?
I've come to his shop for years,
That's Hank then.
as far as I can tell.
Well,
Oh, that's a damn shame.
I'll probably push past them to see if I can find I don't know, a wallet or billfold to get an ID or something like that, just to make sure.
I'll let him pass and hey, mind your step.
Apologies.
No.
yeah, we're
Just- I
not
would
in the
mind your step.
age of tampering with evidence or anything, so I don't
Yeah.
really care that he's messing with the body.
Mind your step. You don't know what you step in.
About this time, you're going to start hearing noises around you, and from the front door, Simon, you're going to see these three men come in. They're in police uniforms. In the back, you're going to see the doors open, and these men in uniforms and police uniforms step out. They're going to pull their guns on you, and they're going to say, hands up, and no funny business.
So I'll release my pistol from where I've been holding it under my jacket. I'll lift a hand and pull aside my lapel to reveal my badge. Easy, lads. I'm on the job.
Yeah, we'll figure that out later. Turn around, and they're just going to immediately move to be handcuffing you all. And there's enough of them there that I don't think that you want to start a fight with them.
No,
They don't seem to be in
I
a
assume I
talking
have
mood.
goop on my forehead, probably still.
Yeah, as I'm kind of being turned around to be handcuffed, I'll look at Jack and say, "You got a little something on your face."
Yeah, boys, do you mind? I got a hanky in my front coat pocket. Would you mind?
You can deal with that later. And one thing you'll notice is they will put a bag over all of your faces.
Oh, this is normal.
Yeah, I'll step back at first. Be like, no, copper, let's not be making a beef over nothing. I'm just here smoking a pill. There's nothing going on here. See.
See?
And they're just not really going to be in a talkative move. They're just going to grab you, spin you around, and put the handcuffs on and throw a bag. And that's kind of where we're going to end. And then you'll be in the police station.
Okay.
Quick, would Theo be able to snag a bit of hair from Hank's body before he's pulled up to
What
Only
kind of
pubic
get
hair?
handcuffed?
Cubic.
Yeah.
Well, I was going for a billfold, so I'm thinking ass
jeez.
hair maybe.
Theo gets caught with his hand down the dead man's pants.
Pubic hair.
I guess
not what it
maybe
looks
do a I don't know. Are you trying to hide this, or are you just Greg? Are you trying to hide this, or what?
Not really. If I could find some
All right, then make me
debris on his jacket or something.
dex roll. Make me a dex roll. I mean, it wouldn't be so much sleight of hand because you're not trying to hide it.
Do I do this? $52.
Okay,
It's a 1-star
52.
success.
And that's a 1-star success. So yeah, you grab some hair and shove it in your pockets before they get to you. And I mean, one of the officers may have looked at you and was like, has this weird look, like why is a butler pulling hair out of a dead guy and shoving it in his pocket? I don't know.
He's an old friend, man.
You need to keep that ass hair
So-
for later.
So, okay, let's we'll come back, we'll do the introductions for the series and your introductions, and then we'll start going into where we are for our next scene.
DungeonBrew.
You're the world keeper, so you get to choose the world.
Yep.
Yeah, when
That
the
is true.
toilet, you need to get into the minutia. When people started swapping out their toilets. Just add that into your overall timeline.
Well, if you figure that out, you actually wake Cthulhu. So it's kind of like if you figure out why hot dog buns come in a different number than hot dogs in a package,
Yeah.
it's over.
Well, doesn't that mean we win? Isn't the whole point to summon Cthulhu? Game's called
I
Call
mean-
of Cthulhu.
If that's what you want to do, it's up to you.
Well, and it really depends on the brand of hot dogs, too. Because, like Nathan's, they come with 7. What the hell is up
What
with
the
that?
fuck?
7
Yeah.
hot dogs? What kind of jackass decided that shit?
One to throw to the dog.
I guess so.